Students, good morning. Online students, am I audible to you? Right. So now let us move to the further. So all you are okay. So do you remember me? Huh? Totally forget, huh? Remembering. Okay. So all you went to home or you are in Hyderabad only? Went to home. Completely enjoyed. Keeping the Python book in Hyderabad or you taken to home? Hmm? Taken to home or kept in Hyderabad only? Arjun saying HYD only, sir. Okay. So anyhow, students, right, missing your voice and Python, sir. Okay. So again, voice started. Now I'll move to the further. I hope students, you people are in remembering. I hope so. What was our last class topic? Come on. Hmm? What was the topic name? Number of approaches to create an object of ND array. That was the topic name, right? Move this side. Don't leave the chairs gap. Number of approaches to create an object of ND array. So I hope you are remembering that here. How many approaches I said? Almost number of approaches I said. Totally 17 approaches I said. The first one you already discussed about it. Array of. This part already we discussed it. And at the same time, what is the use of ND array? All those things I was explained to you very perfectly. And introduction to NumPy already said. What is the NumPy? How to install NumPy? What is its historical development? And the differences between traditional Python list and then differences I said. Why NumPy is most useful to you? What is the significance of NumPy in the data science? Already I gave you the differences. And similarities also I gave you. Similarities also I gave you, I think so. And then I started with array of. The function called what? Array of. What array of will do? I said very perfectly for you. And how do you reshape the data? What is the internal data type of it? What are the attributes of it? I was already gave you. This is a simply notes I gave you, concept based, and examples also covered here. And then more practical oriented examples. I already gave you this type of example I gave you. This I also posted for you. So a number of approaches to create an object of it. If you carefully remember, this was the discussion we made it. And there I said from fundamental data type onwards, how to create an ND array of. This is syntax I was already forwarded. And how to create an object of it. Some attributes of ND array also discussed it. Attributes. Did you remember that? What are the attributes spell out? Come on. D type, name, shape, size, item size. And item size I did not explain so far. Only D type completed, name and shape and size. What D type will give you? Data type of the values what ND array contains. Ndim will give you what? Dimension of ND array. How many dimensions of ND arrays? How many dimensions I forget? Three. Three. Number one, 1D, 2D, ND. That ND is going to be 3 and 4. That 3 indicates what? Number of matrices, number of rows, number of columns. That you need to. 4D includes what? Number of clusters, number of matrices in each cluster, number of rows and columns of each matrix of each cluster. That's actually 4D. Practically, it is not there now. Only 3D. Our industry is going on. Okay, now, right. Item size, you don't worry, students. I'll take care of it in the class. How you can take care of that? How you can access them? NDRA object dot attribute name. You need to use it. These are very, very important attributes. So I said after that, some values I said, I'm just recapping within few minutes, and I'll move to the further. This is a data, NDRA, and the content of it, and this is a fundamental data. No dimension is available for it. No dimension is present. Dimension is zero. Shape is nothing. And size is going to be only one value present. And already one more also, shape and size. Some small confusion will be there for the students. No more confusion. Shape will give you what? 3 comma 2 now, 3 comma 3 now, 3 comma 2 comma like this. Shape will be always gives you 2 comma 3 comma 3. What is the meaning of it? Two matrices, 3 rows, 3 columns. Size will give you what? 18. 18. What is that 18? 3 into 3, 9 elements. 9 into 2 is called what? 18. Size is going to be giving you what? Total number of elements present in the ND array. Suppose if only 6 elements are there, 6 comma, 6 comma, this is called what? Like one dimensional related. Size is going to be called what? 6. And this is called the shape and whose number of elements are like this. This time dim is called 3 dimensions. Rows, columns, and then what? Rows, number of matrices, rows, and then columns. Right? Done. And no more confusions with this. Very regularly asking question. Students, keep in mind, and Python future is so vast nowadays that years are going on increasing. The Python fragments is increasing like anything in the software industry. You take any US market, you take any of the market which is from outside of the India, totally it is going to be Python. In coming field, totally with Python with AI. In every field, Python is going to play a big role for you and try to be perfect. And as on today, when you are going for any data scientist or any data research engineer or business intelligence engineer, you need to go for what? NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. NumPy, Pandas is compulsory questions. Matplotlib also important, but as on today, data visualization engineer, if you apply, then they will ask you Matplotlib. Otherwise, Matplotlib is not that much compulsory. NumPy, Pandas is compulsory for every Python student. So keep in mind. Now we are going to enter into the further D type. We already did this entire example, and the shape of it, it's a one dimensional. Fundamental values will not have any dimension, and I already said to you these examples. And Python, even it is a single value, doesn't contain anything. And then range of the values we are having. See the range, see the dimension 1, shape is 12, size is 12. But we are going to reshape it. We are going to reshape it, range of this value. We are going to reshape it. We are applying float values, D type, object comma D type. And all the D type values as float here it is coming. Float 64, float 32, into 16, into 32. The concepts was already explained. So what are the students? Anish. So my dear student, what is this message? So Anish is saying some message. What is that? I will just read out. Anish. Good morning, sir. I kindly request that I inform the students 3 days prior to the holidays so they can make arrangement to return home. This always been a challenge for students who often struggle to obtain tickets at short notice. See, students, see, because it is not a university or not a uh, academic calendar to release, it is not a college or something. We need to understand, we need to understand whether it is offline or online, you are there in the class. So it doesn't mean that the class is in the offline. Immediately we are not closing it. If you are suppose you plan to go to somewhere, you go it and attend the online. So Manish, I think so. You are only facing, I think so, that problem, and that part is not applicable in the training in the job oriented course training institutes like. And that's why, my dear student, I'll go to I'll go to the further. That's not the part of it. So come to the point back to this. Now I'll go to the further here. So holidays is not a matter because these days online plus offline is available. Even when you are going in the bus also you can listen the class. That's not a point. Okay. So that part you keep it aside. Now next step, I'll go to the stepping value. So I'm going to take a D type, endim, shape, and range also. It is a one dimensional only. Later I applied now see that reshape the ND array elements. That is by using how many methodologies we are reshaping? Two. One is by using what function more? Reshape of. One more by using shape attribute. Two things we are using it. One is the reshape function. One more is called shape attribute. Two things. Reshape this ND range values here. So reshape of 3 comma 2. So here number of values are 6. Size is 6. The possibilities of reshaping is 3 comma 2. And we are keeping like this. And we are going to take it like this. And we are keeping like this 3 comma 2. Dimension is 2. 3 comma 2. Size is 6. Next is called what you know. Reshape of 2 comma 3. 2 rows and 3 columns. And see this now. Changing the dimensional shape. Here also 3 comma 2. Here it is 2 comma 3. Right, students? Now I'm going to enter into 6 comma 1. We are getting it. Now this is a value 1 comma 6. One row 6 values are coming. It's a list in list. And the dimension is here. The very important is and here 1D and 2D. And we are using shape attribute here. Shape attribute. Come out of that. Here we are getting it. And another one we are using after the range, we are using shape 2 comma 4 comma 2 for 3D level. 3D level. Just I'm recapping what we discussed in the last part of it. Next I'm going to get it 4 comma 2 comma 2. See that 4 comma 2 comma 2. Here I'm using 2 comma 2 comma 2 4 to cluster point and each cluster one matrices. This is one cluster with the two matrices, 2 rows and 2 columns. This is another cluster with the 2 rows and 2 matrices with 2 rows and 2 columns. Overall together is called 2 clusters, 2 matrices, each matrix 2 rows and 2 columns. That's why it is called what you know 2 comma 2 comma 2 comma 2. So next we are going to take up convert an ND array object which is a list and already did and tuple also same. And the most important thing in last class, when we went to set, when we went to what? Set, as well as what? Dict. Both of them are converted into what? ND array. What is the dimension? Zero. Zero dimension. No dimension. No shape. Nothing is there. And you have already seen that for fundamental data types, and set and dict no dimension, zero dimension, no shape is available, and the size is called always one because they never apply what? Indexing and slicing. Dear students, that part you have already done. And important part I said, when a list contains multiple values of same type and different type, when I'm converting into ND array, they are converted into what? Higher type values. Higher type values they are converted into that is the str type they are converted into. If you want to go for converting into which type? Object type, super type of all the types. I already said in the class. Here I already said object type you convert it. I already mentioned it in the class also. Which type of value you can mention it? Object type. Here you see data type of A is called object type. Because we mentioned here somewhere else a conversion. You observe this important line over there, ma, all of you. LST D type is equal to what? Object. So this is an important into 32, so into 64, float 16, float 64. All of them you just forget about it. D type is equal to object, which is a super type for all the types that we did. And this is an example. Last class we said. And the set point you see, ma, all of you set related converted into what? ND array, whose dimension, shape, and everything. This is the data we are getting it. Okay. So in this place, dimension is zero, no more shape. Everything is considered as a single value only. Next is called a dictionary type of that array of D, and the size is like this. Dictionary is like this, and a dictate type. No shape, size is called one only. Dimension of A is called zero. Dictate type, data type of this is called what? Object, and no shape, nothing. So conclusion is what I'm giving here. All fundamental data types, set type, dict type, and str type. This is called what? Zero dimension, shape is nothing, and only one value will present because all of them are considered as a single value only. And rest of them you will be having dimension as well as reshaping methodologies can be possible. So what are the most important frequently asked things? Fundamental data types dimension they will ask, set, and then what dicted dimensions they will ask in mcqs. In mcqs point of view, in nascam related certification level, you will be coming across. This is what I was already discussed it. The first function called what? Array of. So next we'll go for what? A range. So what is the end array? You try to answer me what is an end array, all of you once. So come on. ND array is one of the predefined class which allows us to, whose object allows us to store the data in the form of one dimensional, two dimensional, n dimensional. That is what is ND array. Very important question which you will be asking. What is the NUMPY? And the NUMPY class is called what? ND array. Right. Harshit. So, okay, Harshit. Okay, on the holiday spot you are commenting again. So no, sir, we just arrived to at Hyderabad day before you declared holidays. Plus hostels not providing food. That's why problem. Okay. So if we know about holiday before, we would manage all that point. Harshit, are you from Telugu state? Are you from different state? Are you from Telugu state or different state? Yeah, Harshit. That's what. So generally, of course, the, it is supposed to be declared before only, but we cannot declare before institute declares. So it all depends on uh, the both the sides from the faculty side as well as this. But in Telugu states, this festival will be everybody will go to home, and maybe if anybody is having that problem, next time we'll intimate in advance for all the people so that they can have an arrangement. Okay, so that's why all boys must know. It's my personal advice. All boys must know how to cook by themselves. It is my advice. And you don't tell that cooking when you become responsible person. Don't tell your life partner that cooking. You learn it, but don't tell to your life partner that cooking. Otherwise, you will become responsible person for that. All the time, you only need to do it. That's a danger in your lifetime. So you need to know, but you don't tell to anybody. Okay, now, right? So it is my personal advice to you. Right, students, Harshit, some student, another student is Anish, and both of you might be face some problem, and don't feel for it. I'm also feeling. I understand your problem, but don't feel for it and try to excuse for it. And now let us move to the further. I'm going to take a range. A range. Now I'm going to enter into that. Okay, students. Now I'm entering into the a range function here. Important. Is it explained now? Explained now? No. Simple. Now we will go for it. Students, you already learned that a part of Python, that a part of Python, that a part of Python, we learned, we learned, we learned a concept called what? Range. Range. Did you remember that range? What is the use of this range? It will display. it we display, this will display sequence of numerical integer values by maintaining equal interval of value either in forward direction or in backward direction, right? So coming to the point of it, now I'm going to enter into the range. What are the syntaxes of range? You know, in this place, range of value. This is syntax number one. As a part of Python, when you know, a range will become dead easy. One more kind of thing is what? Range comma start comma what? Stop. Why why our Python students will be just like learning like this data science related like anything, because they are already very strong in Python area. And a NumPy just like a data type only it will look like. But only thing is you are learning lot of functionalities in that. They are all dead easy for you, left hand, left finger. And this you already learned it. Start comma, stop comma, step. Start comma, stop comma, step. So these are the syntaxes we learned as a part of what? Range. Today we are writing as a part of what? NumPy. As a part of NumPy. In end array, we are having what? A range. Same to same you write it. A range syntax is like this. A range syntax is like this. Now I am writing what you know. NumPy dot. NumPy dot. Here also I am writing NumPy dot. And next is called like this. I am taking. Easy. Not a difficult. Sir, what is this will do? What array will do? Array will take any type of value and it can create an end array. But I need some values. I need some values like what? 0 to 9 I want. 0 to 9. I want 0 to 9. Like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 7, 8, 9 I want. So this I want to go for what? Range function I need to do it. In NumPy when you commit, we are having the function name called what? A range. So what is the value I need to pass ma? NumPy dot, NumPy dot, come on, a range of what? 10. Same to same. It will give you the values from where? This will give you the values from 0 to value minus 1. Value minus 1. With a default stepping, with a default step plus 1. With the default step plus 1. Same Python only. Same Python only. 0 to value minus 1 with a default step plus 1. Okay. Suppose I want the value. Okay. Everybody is not interested to maintain the range of values from 0. Somebody is interested to maintain the range of values from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15. This is, I want to start from 10. So I must say 10, comma 16. I must say. What is this now? A range. A range. From where? 10 to 16. Same as Python only. Nothing is there. Coming to the point of it, there I'm going to write it. Generates the range of values. Start to stop minus 1. Stop minus 1. With a default step. With a default step plus 1. With a default step plus 1. With a default step plus 1. Are you following me? Right. So NumPy dot a range of start comma stop comma step. This will give you. I want to maintain the values like 100, 102, 104, 106, and 108, and then 110. Like this, I want. Starting from where, students? 100. Where is the ending? 110. So means I will go for what? 111. Why means 111 minus 1 always? Comma. I will take it as what? What is the difference between two intervals? 2. I must write what? 2. What is this 100 here? Start. What is this 111? What is this 2? Step. What is the programmatical step here? Plus 2. If you want that, I must go for what? Step value to be maintained. Suppose students, I want like this students 110, 108, 108, 106, 104, 102, 100. I want like this. Tell me, how do you take it, ma? 110 comma 10, 110 comma, come on, 90, 9, comma, minus 2. Start with what first, ma? 110. Minus 2 step. That is nothing but what? 108. 108 minus 2. 106 minus 2, 104 minus 2, 102 minus 2, 100. 100 minus 2, 98. 98 means you are saying stop at where? 99. That means it stops at 100. It prints 100 and next numbers will not be coming. It is called a backward direction or not? Yes. So it is up to us, we can maintain. So this is going to be called as what? Start to stop minus 1 with with a programmatic step, with a programmer choice, with a programmer choice step. You want what type of step you want, you can go for it. Are you following me? Right. This A range function always gives this A range function always generates 1D array only. 1D array only. It never gives you what? 2D. It never gives you 2D. It gives you by default what? 1D only it will generate. I hope you are following me. You may ask a question, sir, array also will give you 1D only, but how it will be 2D? If you want to students, one thing I want to conclude it with the LST. You see, once I want to cover one small example of previous one. LST is equal to, take care, might be I covered this. Still I did not remember. Going to take it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 80, 90. This is my list. So I will be converting into end array. How do you convert? Of course, I will take it import NUMPY. Import NUMPY as NP. As NP. NP dot what here? Array of LST. LST. When I print A and the dimension, shape and everything, it will print one dimensional only. Are you following me? That you have already seen it. So when you print this A and everything, it will print one dimensional part only. Suppose if you want any 2D, what we used to print, students? A dot shape I used, right or not? A dot shape. This is 1D part only which is going to print. This is related to 1D only. So now if I want any 2D related, how we used to do it? Here only we used to say A dot shape is equal to 3 comma 3, 3 comma 3, because totally 9 elements are there now. 3 comma 3. So it will be printing as what, ma? 2D. 2D. It will be printed. Sir, I don't want to use shape attribute. In the list part only I can say, yes, you can do, students. Follow me. LST, import what you can say, NumPy as NP. NP. When you are creating the list, you try to use list in list. List in list. Right? You see, students, 10, 20, 30 is one list, comma, another list I will take it. 40, 50, 60 is called another list. And next is called what? 70, 80, 90, which is called what, list in list is always going to be called a 2D only when I convert into end array. Are you following? Important. So this part, if I convert into this, by default, it is going to be 2D only. By default, it is going to be 2D only. If I write A and its a shape and everything, it is called 2D only. I think you are following me. If you want to go for any kind of 3D, I can go for writing list in list in list. List in list is 2D. Just list is called 1D. List in list in list. It is the 3D. I hope you are following me. Okay, ma. Right. Online students, are you following me? Are you following, students? Quick. I want to go for quick now. So let us move to the further. Let us move to the further. Now I'll enter into the further. A range function I'm going to take up here. So let us move to the Jupyter notebook. Already Jupyter notebook might you already installed, I hope. Everybody before holidays only you might installed it. Now I'll move to the further. So here, let us move to the further now. It's a browser based IDE and most suitable for any kind of data science related applications. Say new and then say here. Now I'm going to talk about A range function I'm going to discuss. So I'm going to take up the syntaxes here. This syntaxes I will carry, and I'll continue with the examples. I'll continue with the examples here. So let us watch this now. So I'm going to take up. So students, now first syntax I'm going to talk about it. So let's take quick example. So here I'm going to take the first example. Hmm. Generate, generate range of values, range of values from from 0 to 10, 0 to 10. How do I write it? Import NUMPY as NP. A is equal to NP dot A range of, it is not arrange, A range of, I'll say 11. I'll say 11. 11 means what I said already, 0 to value minus 1. You print that value, students. Here I am writing, here I am writing some content and everything, I'll write it. So try to move forward. Content of A, content of A, comma, A I will write it. Data type of A, D type, D type of A. Data type of A means what, students? The value present in the values present in the end array, end array. Now I'll print off here, I will write it. Dimension of, dimension of A is equal to attribute name, ending. Very, very important, students. You must remember that. Next is called a shape of it. Shape. I'll write it. Shape of A. It is called a shape. Shape. And the next I will write it size of A. Size of A. So I will write it A dot size. A dot size. So I'm writing it. Try to run this now. See students, content of A. And next is called what, here I forget to write it. Data type. Type of A. Type of A. Data type of A. Type of A. I will write it. Type of A. Next. Values type of A. Values type. Values type of A. So simply I will write a type, and type of A. D type I will write it. Do you remember that? A dot what? D type. D type. Very important. See students, type of A, end array. Values type of A, int 32. Dimension, shape, all the values. I hope you are following me. So number of values are how many here? 11 values are there. 11 values are there. Next, last and final, I will take like this. Something like generate the values of 0 to 5 or 0 to 6. 0 to 6 I want to go for it, or 0 to 5 you want. So I'll write it here called what? 6. I'll write it. This is a data we are having. This data, if I want to go for it, by default, it cannot give you 2D here, students. You have to go for what? Reshaping it. How do you do that? Two ways are there. One is called reshape of, one more is shape attribute. So A dot shape is equal to, come on, 6 elements means I can go for 3 comma 2, or you can go for 2 comma 3. Anything you can take it, students. So I'm taking that. Observe now. Go for this. So you are getting the values like this. I will take it to next line, students. Next line I will take it. Backslash n I will take. So you are getting content of A. This is data. The dimension is called 2, and the 3 comma 2 size is called 6. And it is your choice to go for whatever the style you want. Next, I want to go for second syntax. This is very easy. Always coming from 0 onwards. But my interest is to display what? Range of values from one specified position to another specified position.